Wilson Combat SFT9. Quite the fancy gun. Coming up, you'll see absolute first shots from myself and Ms. Tia. We'll run a full magazine +1. See what it eats in the What's for Dinner test. Use the spinner for sights and trigger control. Do some practical accuracy from 7 yards, and then give you our concluding thoughts. Coming up next on GB Guns.
All right, cold shots out of the SFT.
It's cold out here, folks. Tia's got a reduced size torso out there at about 30 yards, and we're using some Freedom Munitions 115 grain. We're lucky enough to have this pistol in our hands because Tia's got a magazine article.
Oh, I prevented the slide from locking.
How so? Was your thumb on the...
Yes, it's got a nice little ledge that everything rests really easily on.
I normally don't see you shoot that eagerly. Are you enjoying this?
It begs to be shot. Now, I'm noticing that the texture is leaving some print. But my hands are cold, so they might be just a little more sensitive to that than they normally would be. But yeah, this begs to be ran.
SFT9, I'm looking forward to this. As you guys saw on the tabletop, it's a double stack 1911 without making all the noise about being a hip, cool double stack 1911. Oh, that is comfy. Don't know why I'm missing. I think I'm punching the trigger. Yep. That's very comfortable. There is a polymer little bushing in there that might be absorbing some of the impact. I'm getting a little bit of bite underneath my thumb just because of the way my hand fits this, but it'd be interesting to run. Next, we'll see how it runs fully stuffed. Full mag +1. Full mag +1 will be interesting because we only have one magazine. You'd expect for something of this price range to have more than one mag. I inserted, put it on safe, and then topped off the mag again. Full magazine into a closed slide, no problem there. Same piece of steel, same 30 yards. See if I can shoot better this time and try to burn it down. See how the gun runs at speed. If my cold fingers will function fast enough. No issue cycling, ran just fine. I was missing, but not really feeling my fingers at the moment, so that could be part of it. Anyways, next we'll see what it eats. It's that time again, what's for dinner time, to see what the gun eats. This is thanks to our patrons and Ammo Squared supporters. As we move down the line, you'll see that all of these rounds have different weights, case materials, projectile types and shapes, ogive locations. There's a lot of variety here. If you're curious about trying some of this stuff yourself, check out the article at gbgunsdepot.com. We've got links to it where we can find it. 3 rounds because we're looking to see, does it feed from slide lock? Is there enough energy to cycle and feed another round of the same type? And then lastly, does it lock open on empty?
For circle number 1, we'll be using the Liberty Ammunition Civil Defense. This is a 50 grain plus P ammunition. It's a nice slide release.
Yeah, it makes a good sound and feel when it goes forward.
A really convenient safety, easy to use.
Very positive detent on it too.
Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen. For circle number 2, we have heavy shots, heavy duty, frangible, lead free. This is a 100 grain bullet.
Not the best.
For circle number 3, we have Hornady's Critical Defense Light. This is a 100 grain FTX.
Really short, pointy bullet. Camera doesn't seem to want to focus in this temperature.
For circle number 4, we have Norma's Monolithic Hollow Point. This is a 108 grain bullet with extreme terminal performance.
That's really terminal for those of you who aren't that great with English. No slide lock.
My thumb fits perfectly there. Like, and it's not on purpose, and I'll move it down for the rest. Yeah, it's a nice feature.
That's what happens to me on Walthers all the time.
For circle 5, we have Blazers. This is 115 grain aluminum cased ammunition.
We use aluminum and steel case ammunition in these tests because, well, people buy it because it's cheaper. Cheaper because the materials are cheaper. However, there's more friction between rounds in the magazine and going into the chamber. The expansion contraction rate is also different than brass, which can lead to extraction issues, and that's why some manufacturers advise you not to use it. They don't want you blaming it.
Ooh. Having my thumb lowered.
And we had an extraction issue, it looks like.
No, it was a feed. Well, it didn't feed all the way. It didn't come up all the way to feed all the way.
Okay. So maybe cheap ammunition and a uber premium gun is not the best. It does smell nice.
It smells like grandma's old perfume. I'm not lying.
Next up is the Wolf steel case 115 grain ammunition. For circle number 6. Grouped very nicely. You know what I'm noticing is the wall of the trigger is not definitive.
Valid, yes.
Like you just kind of pull and at some point it goes.
Yes.
Circle 7 from Federal is the Syntec Defense Segmented Jacketed Hollow Point, 138 grain blue plastic on these bullets. Yeah, there is no... So if I let it out all the way and come back... Yep. It's like you have to pull through. There's no... Circle 8, Winchester Elite Defender, Stop the Threat. 147 grain bonded jacketed hollow point. These tend to have a little bit of snap to them. See how that contact point on the rear of the safety introduces itself to my hand under these.
It causes a lot of flip.
Yeah.
Those did not look fun.
They were not. My hand's not liking the back end of this gun.
There we go, focus. Sorry guys.
Circle 9, Federal Syntec Action Pistol, 150 grain. This is a snub-nosed red plastic bullet. Well, plastic coating, the jacket. Still lead inside. Whoops. Yeah, there's just no definitive wall for the trigger. That's how that first one, which ironically was the best of those three, went off. And our heaviest is the PPU Subsonic Lines 158 grain, obviously meant for something with a suppressor. but we like to do it because it's a long bullet for circle 10. More recoil in this gun than in most others with that load. I also tend to hit a little bit low for some reason. That is our 6-inch Titan Great Outdoors spinner target, and we're back here about 13 yards away. He's got 10 rounds of Freedom Munitions 115 grain. We use this for sights and trigger control because, as you can see, it's a small target, and then once you hit it, it starts moving, which makes timing an accurate shot all the more important. The more you hit it, the faster it goes, the harder it is to hit.
I want a do-over.
You had some good hits there.
This gun is easy to run. It's, as you know, I don't shoot fast easily. It's a challenge for me. I could run this a lot faster because I want to, because it does, and it does it well. And as far as, you know, the trigger and the sights and how all of that worked, it worked really well. I just got a little bit ahead of myself and was going probably a little quicker than I was ready to go, but the gun made it easy and it was a fun attempt, and this is one that I would like to do that repeatedly with.
All right, 8 rounds of Freedom Munitions 115 grain. Yeah, it's just fits oddly in my hand when I rest my thumb on the safety, as you would for a 1911.
Ooh, just in time.
Just barely. The sights are great. We got a blacked out rear and a fat fiber optic front sight. Makes it really easy to grab. Does obscure the target a little bit at this distance, but not terribly. For me, that indiscernible break, I think, was my biggest challenge. I couldn't time because I didn't know exactly when it was going to go. I don't think for defensive shooting or for rapid shooting that really doesn't matter, or if you're someone who just kind of pulls through, then it doesn't matter. Personally, my style of shooting, I like to come to the wall, feel that wall, ride it, and then release it at a specific time, and I can't do that with this trigger. However, it didn't stop me from knocking the spinner over the top and hitting. I just had to learn how to time the shots a little better.
For today's accuracy, we'll be using the Double Tap Colt National Match 124 grain full metal jacket ammunition, and I will be shooting at the left circle square.
And we use this target because those squares are 1 inch, so from 7 yards they tend to be about the same breadth as the front sight post. Not bad. I'll also be using the Colt National Match by Double Tap 124 grain at the right circle square.
I am so sorry that this camera is moving on me so much. So after spending some time with this, having my hands warm up, seeing how it performs, you know, from an accurate standpoint, I can kind of see what all the hype's about. It's very comfortable. The front texture is is a little aggressive. However, it does what it's intended to do in that it does not let the gun shift in your hand at all. And as long as your hands aren't frigid, it's not noticeable. The back texture also does the same thing, and just getting into the meat of your hand and forming that nice firm grip that is not going anywhere. If you're not used to it, you're gonna, like I did a couple of times, wince a little bit at it and lose your grip, but it just takes getting used to, because this is a little aggressive. The trigger, I like the trigger. It does have a very short reset. It has a very short reset, and if you're not mindful of that, you're going to run right past it. The sights are great. I don't mind that it doesn't lock open, other than if I was in a course and we were having, our adrenaline's running, that slide lock, my thumb resting on the slide lock would cause me some frustration that I would have to overcome there. And I appreciate this divot right here where your mag release thumb goes is not textured, so you just are in there nice and comfy. Yeah, I enjoyed this.
There's some things I like, some things I don't like. Aesthetically, I think it's a very sharp looking. It's, you used to say presidential, but lately, that's not a compliment. It's
Stately?
Stately might be better. Very handsome gun. My two complaints are what prevent me from falling in love with it, and that is something on this rear corner back here is just hitting my knuckle. I mean, my knuckle's pink from it, hitting it just wrong. It might be my grip, it might just be this hand with this gun. It's not to say that it's going to apply to everyone else out there. Obviously Tia didn't have the same problem, and I wish the trigger was a little more defined. The first shot in my accuracy group, I was not ready. I thought I was still taking up slack. I was not expecting that. Now, that's not to say it's a bad trigger or there's something wrong with it. If you've ever shot a double action gun, that's how most double actions shoot, is you're just kind of pulling through it. I think folks who have spent a lot of time with revolvers or with guns of similar trigger types will love this trigger. The reset's nice and short and crisp. You definitely know when it's there, but once again, coming back, you don't know when the break is. Just applying pressure, it goes off. That, for some people, can help prevent them from throwing shots, which is excellent. For me, it prevented me from knowing exactly when it was going to go off, for better or worse. Okay, enough about the trigger. The rest of it, though, the checkering does leave marks on my hand too. Not painful marks though, but it really does hold on. It's a great texture. The overall shape is nice, aside from that corner hitting my thumb knuckle, and that's just something that happens to me on some guns sometimes. Overall, it's really finely crafted. You can feel that. You can hear it in how everything operates. A little ASMR there.
Oh goodness.
It's a nice safety. I mean, you can tell that this is not an inexpensive gun. It's very finely built. Ran very nice for us. It was a treat to be able to spend a day with a Wilson Combat.